The worst thing you can do when building a product, whether it's physical or software, is keeping it to yourself and not showing it to people. Now, the second worst thing you can do is showing it to everyone and taking their advice as gospel or as the word of God. Because everybody's going to have a different opinion. Everybody's going to try to pull it and pick it apart in a different way. And all of it is good unless you do exactly as they tell you. So instead of taking their word for what they say, take a note down and understand, okay, this is what they said. This is where they're leaning. This is what they think it should look like, it should feel like, it should do. These are the problems they have with it. Now, in some cases, there are bugs that you must fix no matter what because there are problems with the platform. And then there are opinions of this is how this should work. This is how this should look. And you need to be very careful when selecting what things to actually implement because by satisfying one person, you might be pulling up a red flag for someone else. And one of them might be your ICP and one of them might not be. ICP is ideal customer profile. So your ideal customer that's going to use this platform. And the most important thing is finding those people and really getting to understand the reasoning behind their recommendations, their feedback, and then getting a large quantity of people because you don't want just one person giving you feedback and doing exactly what they want. Although that's a good way to start a business, it's not a good way to continue making a product stay and become better. Now, we have been working on property deals for a few months, and we've been constantly taking it to people, asking people questions about things, how they want things to work, what type of features are something that actually brings value versus doesn't. And now recently, with the platform being up and live, we've been showing it people using test information, getting them to set up their profile, having them walk through an experience of creating an account, applying as a wholesaler, listing a deal, seeing a property as a buyer, seeing other people like real estate professionals and their profiles. And by them going through all this, one, we're watching and seeing exactly what they're doing. So like it's not like something like, oh, how did you feel about this? No, we're like literally, me and Jack are like sitting there, whether it's on Zoom or in person, and just looking at exactly all the steps they're taking and taking notes and be like, okay, they missed this part, or they didn't realize this part, or they got stuck here, or whatever it is. And those are honestly even better tells than them giving you feedback. The other thing is once we're done, we ask them, and sometimes they'll bring things up in between. And they'll bring up ideas, they'll bring up things that, oh, this would be cool if this was here. Oh, this would be cool if this was here. Those are great to write down, not always great to implement because, again, advice is good for them because you want to make, if you were making the best product for one individual, then you should 100% follow what they say. But you're trying to make the best product for an entire avatar of people. And by that, to do that, you need a lot of people to talk to. And I'm not saying don't listen to them and be rude to them. Absolutely not. Listen to them, be very respectful, understand what they're saying, understand why they're saying it, and keep it in mind. And sometimes you're going to realize this is something we definitely need to implement right now. And then sometimes you're going to be like, okay, this is something we need to keep in mind. And if any single person brings it up again, it's something that we need to implement. Or if a multitude of people bring it up, this is something that we need to revisit and look back at. And it takes a level of humility, but also understanding of what your product is to be able to say, one, this is something that needs to be fixed, or two, okay, thank you for that input. We'll definitely look into it, but we're going to see what other people think about it because there are a lot of different opinions in the world. And by trying to appeal to everyone, you're appealing to no one. At the same time, always be open-minded, listening, and wanting to learn more, like very vigilant on what they're doing because I can't stress this enough. If you're having like beta testers or users testing your product, the number one thing you can do is watch them use the product. Watch them use the product. Don't ask questions. Don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them where to go. They ask you, what should I do now? Be like, up to you. If you want like a specific user story or journey that you want them to go through, just tell them, do this. Like apply as a seller. Don't tell them where because like with us, one thing that we realize is to get to the like seller application, the platform's all one thing. So it's a custom for someone to log in and they're like a buyer. But then if they want to apply as a seller, it's not as obvious of where to go to do that, especially if it's your first time on the platform. And that is something we picked up on from just a few people going through that process. So again, just watch very vigilantly of what your users are doing on your platform so you can understand the process that they go through, the bugs that they run into and the reasoning behind the how or the why behind the requests for new features or implementations. And you'll be very surprised on how much you can pick up on and how many things you can take notes. Now, I say all this, and we've only been testing for a week now, and we've had a few investors. We have two wholesalers next week so far. Hopefully we get more than that. Plan is to get 5 by the end of next week. And we have a few other like tech users, relatives, friends, people that we're literally just getting them to go through the process, onboard, and really clear out all the kinks and get it truly ready to launch. Because technically today is like launch day, kind of a soft launch because we're not blasting this out and marketing it, because we want to be very personal and connected with the process, especially on the wholesaler side. Now, eventually when we go out and get more investors on there, once there are deals there, that's going to be a heavier process. A lot of talk today, just to really explain the importance of vigilantly seeing the experience that your users are going through and truly taking their advice, but not always implementing it, because you need to understand that just because you're appealing their feedback doesn't mean it does the same for someone else. So hope that leaves you with a valuable lesson there. That's all I got for you guys today. See you guys next time. Peace.